Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Welcome back to the Nipa TV show. I'm your host, Nipa TV. That's me. We're going to commentate another game since that last game was relatively short. It's going to be 5BBBBBBB versus qowmekqmt. What the frick, dude? Okay, it's a PvP on Vermeer SE. Let's get to it. Let's get rid of that. We got... I'm just going to go by Cow. Going to call him Cow. Cow on the top left. Has the purple? Yeah, purple Protoss. It's a PvP. And then 5BBBBBB, I'm just going to say 5B, just to make things easier. Bottom right as the Scion Protoss. Now, I don't know how PvP works in this game. Kind of had an idea in 2, but even then, it's always kind of a coin toss, as many people have experienced with mirror matchups. And I will analyze the map as well, but I'd be curious to see what PvP entails in Brood War. I have to imagine it's Zealots, Dragoons, maybe High Templar. I wouldn't know, because you want to get rid of the shields on each side. So what would be the most effective? Maybe Reavers? Splash damage for the amount of units? Ah, man, that seems more like a Zerg, like versus Zerg kind of deal. Not sure. Definitely, I wouldn't think air. Air not till super late. Pylon going down. All tabbed. Whoops. But yeah, let's take a look at the map. Vermeer. Looks pretty symmetrical. Decent. I think there's one ramp. Yeah, so we're good. We have one ramp. It isn't the crazy maps where it's like 2 ramps. Those freaking 1990, early 2000 maps are wild. Like the epitome of just someone essentially just pressing a button and it's like a random map generator. It's kind of crazy, as I'm sure many people know. It's kind of a cool symbol in the middle of the map. It kind of looks like the freaking, I don't know if it's the AMD symbol or the NVIDIA symbol, but it looks like one of those graphics cards logos in the center to me, because I'm crazy. So, okay. So we actually have 2 gate before Cyber. I feel like that's pretty common in Brood War. Could be wrong. No, he went Cybernetics. Okay, so we may see an aggressive start from 5BBBBB, 5B for short. We'll see what happens. I have to imagine in mirror matchups, especially in Brood War, expansion, getting a fast expansion is not top priority, because it wasn't really that way in 2. Obviously, you get your natural, especially in Legacy of the Void, when you have like 8 freaking probes to start, or however many, 12. Ridiculous amount. Kind of a cool concept on paper. Doesn't really work, in my opinion, for that. But rants aside, yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We do see a Zealot out. It's on the ramp. 3 Zealots. And I'll be curious to see if 5BB is probably not going to be able to predict where his opponent is, but he's going diagonally. Maybe he kind of predicted it based on that probe's trajectory coming from the top. He probably thought his opponent, oh, he probably scouted here, and he went down. So maybe scouting is a lot more prevalent in this game, especially with this one. We have 5B's probe actually scouting his opponent's base. Okay, I guess that makes sense. He knows where his opponent is based on that. Got it. Okay. We actually see a pylon going down. I thought I saw a shield battery being warped in, but not so much. So the Dragoon, this Dragoon is going to be really important versus this push in terms of micro. Does take out the shields. That is the first step. We have 1 Zealot. I don't think, okay, we have another Dragoon coming out. And oh god, that is actually not a good position for the drone. The Dragoon. This Dragoon is still doing micro. Let's see how much damage these 3 Zealots can do. Fortunately, not really doing too much. Just damaging the army a little bit. Probes being microed. And actually doing 0 damage in terms of the probe line. Does damage the Zealot quite a bit. Does damage the Dragoon quite a bit. But for 300 minerals, not a good position. We do have Dragoons coming out now for 5B. Looks like he's expecting some kind of a push from his opponent. But Cow is actually just going to sit tight, getting a Robo Bay. We may see some dropship micro, whatever it's called. Warp Prism. think it's called War Prism in this game. Gosh, I don't know. Anyways, Cow's moving out. See what happens. 2 Dragoons to defend. More Dragoons on the way. No expansion in sight for both players. Both sticking to one base, as predicted. So, yeah. I can't imagine 5B loses this for sure. He's got the high ground. He's got the ramp. And he's got a Robo Bay on the way as well. We'll see what ends up being the tech next. We actually have increased Dragoon attack range from Cow, which will give him a range advantage, obviously, which will be nice. We don't see that insight at all for 5B. He actually has 2 Zealots out too, which will be nice to soak up some damage and potentially do some damage. And Dragoons do see those Zealots take out the shields and a little bit of the hull damage there. We actually see an Observatory as well, maybe predicting some Dark Templar. Dark Templar will be good. Obviously not anymore with that Observatory. Robotics facility is down. What will he transition into? He is also getting Observatory. Interesting. Both players probably predicting some kind of Dark Templar shenanigans. Maybe that's more common in this game. Dragoon's focusing down one of the Dragoons here. Going to do a lot of damage, but isn't going to kill it. 5B does kill it. Never mind, my mistake. That was a good chase then. Very nice. We're definitely, I have a feeling we're going to get a Nexus now, especially based on the mineral count here. There it is. See if Cow reciprocates. Yeah, that's the word. Reciprocates that move. 5B moving out. I do like 5B's style. Just side note, I really like his aggression. It's fun to watch. It's nice. But Cow is prepared. Has a lot of Dragoons to defend. And a Zealot. 2 Zealots are... 5B has 2 Zealots. And Dragoon count is not as high, obviously. So I think Cow easily defends this, I would say. Observer is out on the field as well. Sees this army. Is like, really? You're going to stop me? I don't think so. And Cow is going to get his natural expansion as well. Not bothering to micro with that Dragoon. There is some focus fire going down. Not as much as you would think. But does defend. Decent damage on both sides. 5B not out at all. He's just trying to make something happen here. Chase continues. Chase ends. Very cool. And we'll see what both players end up teching into. I did see on the production tab that there are some Reavers coming out. Yes, some Scarabs being produced. And I have to imagine there is a Warp Prism. There it is. Or Shuttle, rather. My mistake. Shuttle. Got it. I'll get it down eventually. Here's the cute little Caterpillar Reaver. Getting some Scarabs. Caterpillar that pukes bombs at people. Very cool. Let's see what ends up happening. I don't think we're going to see any upgrades at the robotics support base. Feels like that's kind of low on the priority list right now. You just want to get those Scarabs going and stuff. We'll probably see some shuttle micro as well. Absolutely see some shuttle micro, but I was thinking like backdoor and stuff. Getting some damage on the probe line for 5B. We do have a shuttle for 5B as well, and actually is holding that cute little Caterpillar, the Reaver there. And we'll see if they end up harassing the opponent here. Lots of room to defend. The natural expansion is actually already pretty much saturated for Cow. No gas needed. Seems like the gas is not important right now anyways. Gas saturation is complete for 5B, though. So just something interesting to note for sure. Both players kind of chilling. Probably, Cow is probably conditioned to 5B just doing a bunch of aggression. I heard a shuttle sound. Actually, 5B might be going for a third base here. Doesn't have quite enough minerals. And we actually do see a move out from Cow at this point. Not a lot to defend this. There are two Reavers in the shuttle. So we'll probably see a lot of Reaver micro. So based on what I'm noticing, PvP, Dragoon Reaver. Interesting. There's a move out. There's some attack here. Observer actually does get decimated there by Cow. So his eyes are kind of gone. Dragoons, you can get foes down. That shuttle is kind of in a precarious position. Dragoons are going on a death march in order to do so. Reavers are shooting their scarabs, doing a bunch of damage. Not quite killing anything. There is one. There is two. Oh my gosh. I think, yeah, one of the Reavers actually did go down and 2 Reavers go down. That is actually massive. That is a massive advantage. And the Observer too. So lots of damage being done. 5B definitely winning that fight, I would say. Just that the positioning of the shuttle there was not as good as it could have been for Cow. Definitely not out of this. He does need to defend. He has a Reaver on the way, but not out at the time. Does have a High Templar, or just a Templar Archives. And 5B is pushing out. Not quite committing. Doesn't think he has enough to kill his opponent. Where is that shuttle? I feel like... There we go. There we go. So some Reavers coming out. Shuttle does go down, which means one. Okay, so both Reavers going down, which is a lot of damage being done. But the Dragoon count is pretty ridiculous for 5B. Going to do as much damage as possible. Reaver just threw out the Scarabs, and just right now, Cow is trying his very best to try to just pump out those Scarabs and shoot them at the enemy as much as possible. Meanwhile, 5B doing as much micro as possible. This Reaver is out of position and unfortunately is going to die. And oof, this is actually not looking good for Cow. It may even be game. He could stay in this. He definitely needs to regroup and try to get some more units coming out. We have a High Templar Archives, or just, I keep saying High Templar Archives. Just Templar Archives. And actually, interestingly enough, 5B is going to pull back. Was there some kind of assault in the main base? Not sure, but 5B has a huge Dragoon count coming through to reinforce this already larger than life Dragoon count here. DC piling going down. Still quite a bit of probes still. The natural base. We actually have a third for 5B going down right now. Economic advantage will soon be in favor of him. So we also have an observer on the field as well. See what happens. We have a third going down for Cow. He does need to secure this as much as possible. But more importantly, he needs to get his army back up and running, which he is in the process of doing. Has 5 gateways at this time. And also getting upgrades too. Let's actually take a look at the upgrades. 0 so far, but it looks like +1 is being done for that. 0 so far as well for 5B. So both players are on even footing in terms of upgrades. Upgrade numbers. Tiers, rather. We'll see if we opt for... We do have a Photon Cannon coming out. That will help compensate for the lack of units right now. Huge move out from 5B. I don't know how Cow is going to defend this, but we'll see. Well, 5B pulls back. That's actually good. Oh, okay. We'll see what happens. Photon Cannon is almost down. Units are all here. This is it. This is probably going to be the final engagement. One Dragoon does go down. Every unit that is lost from Cow is going to be detrimental, but this Dragoon count is absolutely insane. Reavers are going to do as much damage. Third base is down. Psystorm goes down. And it's not looking good, and more units are actually on the way. They have Dark Templar on the field as well from Cow. We'll see how much damage he could do, but it's not looking great. Still in this, technically. Still alive. Anything goes. Anything can happen. Observer does go down for Cow. 5B is moving out. And as soon as 5B moves out, it's just not a good position. 2 more gateways are being complete. The only thing to defend is this Reaper. It's going to have to be God tier micro at this point. Reaper does die. And that is game, yeah. Really unfortunate. It was really back and forth for a little bit. But just 5B just coming out on top in terms of just macro in general and the aggression. I feel like what really did it in was this engagement right here. When Cow lost his Reavers, that is just a massive disadvantage. And then that gave 5B ample room to push in, do more damage. Probably should have gotten cannons a lot earlier to kind of compensate for the lack of units. Cow should have done. That's my prediction. Doesn't mean it's correct. Doesn't mean, I don't know. Yeah. But good game still. Fun to watch. And that's going to be it. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of NewbieTV, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.